Freedom Guy 55 here again. I had just seen well, I hadn't just seen it, but I had seen the midnight showing of Transformers 3, or Transformers Dark Side of the Moon. And well, as I could say, wow. I was really impressed. I liked the original film, okay? And I believe that this film was actually much better than the original film. It really did work on a level. It's not that much better, but it is better than the original. There is a lot of good stuff here that does really much more than the original. And the one thing is that this movie really improved on the second film. But so I do have to give thumbs up to Michael Bay for actually paying attention to the critiques of the actual second film. The one thing is that we find that the movie starts off with this ship that leaves Cybertron and crash lands on the moon. And basically Americans find out that it's actually crash land on this moon, and that's why they actually started the space race. That's the reason for the space race, and that particular type of film starts the actual movie. We wind up actually having a development of that within this film in the beginning of it. And then the story progresses in present day with Sam Witwicky, Shia LaBeouf, and so on. He's trying to actually find a new job, and the Autobots, the Decepticons have oddly gone silent, and the Autobots have actually been helping Americans with terrorists and such like that. Well, anyway. And the story winds up having to develop from there. And I have to actually say that there is so much stuff that's actually better in this film than I would say even the original one. Such as like that there's, if I can get this right, the characters are much more involved. You care more about the Autobots in certain circumstances. The Decepticons are much more menacing in this film, especially Laserbeak, who actually plays as a kind of hitman toward the humans in some ways. Also, the special effects are absolutely phenomenal, and the action sequences are much more well thought out. You know what's actually going on. Also, there are humans that are much more involved in this film, not only within the development of the story, which actually has holes in it, but you don't really care about it because it's actually developing a mystery behind the story. Of wanting to know what is the Decepticons' role in this and such, and you're actually much more interested in that, which is a 7. So you got more characters in this, aside from Sam Witwicky and his parents and all this other stuff. You got and much more people in that. Plus, also you've got this kind of like mystery going on that you're just really interested in, and I don't know if you want me to keep on going on about this, but there's just so much more in there. I mean, acting as well. The acting in it is better as well. And so there's really so much more in this film. It's actually really well done on that purpose. And I find that what's so interesting is that I wasn't really expecting much from this, and then I got this. There are some bad points in the film that kind of drop the film pretty much. I thought that I thought that certain characters that they wound up adding in the film, certain characters that they wound up adding in the film, they had certain moments in the film that were just really too silly, and in some ways just really didn't work for the film. That it kind of dropped it down a little bit, but it wasn't really that bad because they did have in some ways a purpose. Though the problem is that the movie is really too long and the action sequences get really overloaded in the film. I mean, really overloaded. But they're really well paced out up until the invasion happens. And then, when that happens, the last like 40 minutes of the film takes a while because you got so many action sequences huddled up into one particular area, one particular type of time that it just takes so long to get to the end that they could have actually trimmed about like 15 to 10 minutes of this to try, at least they needed it to try to make it better. But as much as anything else, the film really worked much better than the original film, so I really have to give thumbs up to Michael Bay. Though because it being too long and having a lot of overloaded action sequences, I just have to say that this movie only gets it's slightly better than what I thought about the original. Which, of course, the original I would pretty much give the original 3 stars, and this one I give 3.5 because of how long it wound up being and the overloading of the action sequences. But everything else in this movie had a tendency to really work well. Oh yeah, and also because I kind of downgraded the film because of its awkward silliness that they wound up using that seemed to detract away from certain things. But I also was really surprised about the parents. They're not shown as much in this film, but they still have this kind of quirkiness, and some of the things that they wind up saying are funny. But there is this one moment in the film that is actually really touching, that I actually liked. But and it seemed to actually make me feel that these parents actually did have this kind of particular purpose. But anyway, so I do give this movie 3.5 stars. It is better than I do believe that it's better than the original, and I stress this. I do stress this, okay, because I will own this on DVD, okay, because it is worth getting on DVD. But I have to stress this though, because I'm thinking about getting when I thought about getting it on DVD as well. I know that when I see the movie on DVD, I'm going to miss the actual kind of really kind of big feel. I mean, there's going to be a downgrade of a big feel of what I felt like in the theater. So I have to stress this to you. I have to say that see it in the theater. You have to see this movie in the theater because if you just wait to DVD, it's going to actually, I think some of the actual feeling of the movie will kind of be removed a little bit from you, that it does actually deserve to be seen in the theater because I mean, come on, the Transformers are big. I mean, come on, it just needs to be dealt with a big screen. But so that's pretty much it. It's a good movie. I give it thumbs up. I give it 3.5 stars. I believe you have to see this in the theater. But and that's it. And I thank you for your time, man. Have a nice day.